Vandeham Sri Guru.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, 5th Chapter, text number 9, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on the 31st of October, 1976, in Vrindaban, India.
Sri Rupam Chakrajatam.
Translation. When the strong knot in the heart of a person implicated in material life due to the results of past action is slackened, one turns away from his attachment to home, wife, and children. In this way, one gives up the basic principle of illusion, I and mine, and becomes liberated. Thus, one goes to the transcendental world.
So, the conclusion is given here. One should be completely satiated from this attachment of sex. Then he is liberated. Liberation means no more material life. And the basic principle of material life is sex. Therefore, whole Vedic civilization is based on to train people how he becomes free from sex desire. The great Emperor Jamunacharya, he gave his experience how he became liberated from sex desire. Jadavadhi namachitta Krishna padaravinda nava nava dhamarantumasi tadavadhi vatanari sangame smarchamane bhavati mukha vikara sustu nishtivanamcha. Since he gives his experience, since I have given my mind and heart in the service of Jadavati Krishna Padaravinda, at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and I have increased my transcendental blissful life by rendering such loving service. Since then, even if I think of sex life, tadavadhi, mama chitta, tadavadhi, vatanari sangame smarjamane. Even sex life, thinking of it becomes so abominable that I spite of it. This is the test of advancement of Krishna conscious life. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he delivered Jagai Madhai, this Jagai Madhai was debauched, drinking, illicit sex, meat eating, and these things. Degradation. These four principles are the four pillars of degradation. Therefore we prohibit that if you want to make progress in Krishna consciousness, you must give up these four principles. So, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made this condition that if you promise that you will give up these four principles of sinful life, then I will accept. Never mind whatever you have done in the past. Every man is sinful, there is no doubt about it, more or less. But that is not disqualification. If he agrees to give up them, then immediately he becomes liberated. That is Krishna also says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham tva sarva pape bhamukkaisa. Liberation is not very difficult. It can be attained in 1 minute, provided we want to take it. Just like Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam aham tva sarva papebhyo mokkhaisami. So, if you are free from the resultant action of sinful life, then you are liberated. If you get shelter at the lotus feet of Krishna and do not act in such a way that you again fall down, then you are liberated. Liberation means, we have several times discussed, Hitya annatha rupam sarupena avastiti. Our sarup means original constitutional position is Jive sarupa nitya Krishna das, eternally servant of Krishna. As soon as we place ourselves in our original place, then you are liberated immediately. If we decide finally that we shall now continuously, vehemently fixed out in Krishna consciousness, very simple thing, Krishna consciousness is described by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhavamad bhakta, that's all. Always think of me, manmana, and bhavamad bhakta. Be ready always to serve me. Bhakta means where there is bhakti and Bhagavan, then bhakta. If there is no Bhagavan, and there is no activities to serve Bhagavan, there is no bhakta. That demons. So bhakta means there must be Bhagavan. Seva and Sevan. Sevak, Seva. 3 things. Seva means who is to be served, the master, Seva. And Sevak means the servant. If there is master and servant, then there is Seva. This Seva is called Bhakti. So, here, Manodilayanti yasya karmanubadha dhira asracheta. When he decides no more these things. Atadvihat chetra sutapo vittayi janasya mono mohoyam. When he understands that I am becoming more and more implicated, by this sex desire, I am becoming more and more implicated. This implication is engaging me more and more in karmanuvadhya. When you understand this and try to get free from this business, then we become eligible for going back home, back to Godhead. Tada jana tham parivartate asma. samparivartate, returns to his original position, asma. And when he turns back towards back home, back to God, then he is mukta, then he is. And mukti is described here. It is not very difficult. Simply we have to decide that it is enough, no more. Then mukta param jati utihaya hetu. This is the hetu. We are baddha, conditioned. This is the hetu. Atagrihache sutattavritti janasamohoyam. So long you shall try, because people are after this griha, apartment or home, kshetra, land, griha, kshetra, suta, children, after friends, vitta, wealth, riches. The basic principle is that maitha, agara madhya, bindati tapan. This is very important point. Therefore, according to Vedic civilization, one is trained how to give up these ideas, concoction. That is, brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, ultimately sannyas. No more. And ultimately, sannyas also is not the perfectional state. So Nasi also practice how to come to the perfectional stage. The perfectional stage is to be engaged and practical, not theoretical, engaged in the service of the Lord, according to his capacity. Not that everyone will be able to do everything. That is not required. Krishna is not a stereotype that he has to be served in this way only. No. Krishna can accept service in so many ways. There are Dadasa Rasa, Akhila Rasamrita Sindhu. This like Krishna is enjoying when Bhishma Dev was piercing his body with the arrows. He was enjoying. This is also rasa. Bhishma purposefully, he knows Krishna is the Supreme Lord, still his devotee, he was giving him pleasure by throwing arrows in the world. So Krishna takes pleasure in that. Krishna does not take pleasure only when you throw rose flower. He can take pleasure when you can pierce, if you are actually able to do that. So that is Krishna. So, Anukullena Krishnanusilaram. You have to know how Krishna will be pleased. Then we are perfect. That we have to practice, first of all, in the Vidhi Marga, according to Shastra, according to the instruction of Guru, Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakko, Tinete Koriya Vikram. Sadhu Marganugamanam, Adu Buddhasrayam, Sadharma Pritya. To accept Guru means to be inquisitive. Just like Sanatana Goswami, he approached Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that I was minister, I was implicated in material activities. You have relieved me from this implication. Now, please tell me what I have to do. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami was given instruction for 2 months continually what to do now. So that is called sadharma pariksha. Not that a fashion, I have made Guru, I have accepted Guru, my business is finished. No. Sadharma pariksha, the disciple must be ready to ask. Sanatana Goswami, he was a minister, he resigned the post. That does not mean he was silent, stopped all work. He was asking, what I have to do? This is sadharma pariksha. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered him to come to Vrindaban and renovate the Vrindaban Leela. This place, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's advent, this city or this whole Vrindaban area, Radhakunda, it was all field only, agricultural field. Nobody knew where Krishna had his pastimes. So it was the direction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that this is Radhakunda, this is this, this is this. And the Goswamis, they repeated. That was not that they came here, although they are sitting underneath the tree. Sanatana Goswami had no opportunity to come to a nice temple like this. They came and the whole thing was only agricultural field. But they constructed gradually the Madan Mohan's temple, the Govindaji's temple, Radhakunda, then peacefully writing books and establishing temples. Then after them, others, big, just like first of all, Maharaj Man Singh, he carried out the order of Rupa Goswami. He spent so much in those days, lakhs and crores of rupees. You have seen the Govindaji's temple broken. It is not possible to construct such a temple at this very moment. But it was done by the order of Sri Rupa Goswami. It is the system, if you want to see a saintly person, you must go there to serve him. Not that simply asking, give me a blessing. And why are you worthy for blessing? What a cheap blessing. Blessing also they do not know what is blessing. They think that I have got some disease. If the saintly person gives me some blessing, I will be relieved from this disease. Why don't you go to a doctor? But you go to saintly person for curing your disease. This is Abhilasa. They do not know even how to approach a saintly person. So, Manasingha was a very important man. He was the commander-in-chief of Bhagavad, and he approached Rupa Goswami, what can I do for you? So, Rupa Goswami, he did not require that temple, but he wanted to engage this rich man to the service of the Lord, and he asked him that you construct a temple like this. Rupa Goswami was living very humbly, at the Radha Damodar temple, his bhajan ashram. He did not require a temple, but we are making members. Why? The idea is then spend the money for nothing and sense gratification, take some money from them and engage in constructing temple. This is our policy. Not that we want to live in big palatial building and take subscription from others. No, this is not our policy. He spoils the money in sense gratification, so try to engage him. This is the policy. And exactly following the footprints of Goswami, we do not require any money. We are quite confident Krishna will supply all the necessities, but to engage the whole world who are spending money in so many rascaldom ways, if that money is engaged in Krishna consciousness, they will get a chance. This is called Ajnata Sukriti. He does not know how he is making progress in Krishna consciousness. Ajnata. It is unknown to him. But the person who is trying to induce him to be engaged in Krishna's service, that is his friend, real friend. They are misunderstanding that these people are exacting money by force. Even it is done by force, it is good for the person who is contributing. But we should not use any such means. People will misunderstand. But the policy is that his money, which is accumulated for sense gratification. In Western countries, they accumulate millions of dollars, and at the last moment, he gives to his dog. There are many instances, you know better than me. Here, nobody, because they do not marry, no children, no friend. So, the dog is the best friend in Western country. Every gentleman must have this best friend, pet dog. So, ultimately, because he has nobody to give, he gives to the dog. Makes a will that my dog will get it, and give him jewelry, ornaments, and so on, so on, so on. We have got practical experience. The big palace which we have purchased in Detroit, the man did not marry, so ultimately he bequeathed the whole estate to the dog. And there is a tomb of the dog. So one has to do it. If he does not do it for God, then he will have to do it ultimately to the dog. The better, so long you have got money, spend it for God. Sannimitte varamutag vinase niyate sati. This is an instruction of Nanakya Pandit. That whatever money you have got, it will be spent. You cannot keep it. Either the money will go from you, or you have to go from it. You cannot keep it. That is not possible. If you don't spend the money for Krishna, if you keep it, that I shall see, I shall leak out this money and be happy. Kripana. Those who are miser, they do not spend money for Krishna, but they see the money. Therefore, it has become a problem for us how to spend the money. How to spend the money for Krishna. That is our policy. We do not want to keep money. We cannot keep, that is not possible. Somebody will take it. Ultimately, the government will take it. Let us spend it for Krishna. Spend it for Krishna. That is the right use. Sannimitte varamutag vinase niyate Chanakya Pandit, he was a great politician, he is advising that if you have got money, spend it for Krishna. Don't keep it. Spend it for Krishna. Why? It will be spoiled. Today or tomorrow it will be spoiled. Somebody will take and spoil it. Better, if you spend it for Krishna, at least your service will be recognized. Krishna will see that this man is spending his hard-earned money for me. That is called Ajnata Sukriti. This service to Krishna, this inclination does not arise unless one is very, very good asset he has got. Chaturvida bhajante mam sukriti no. Who comes to Krishna bhajan? Sukriti no. Not ordinary. Sukriti. Chaturvida bhajante mam sukriti no. Those are duskriti no. They will never come to Krishna. Namah duskriti no mubha. Prabhadanti naradham. Lowest of the mankind, full of sinful activities, how they can come to Krishna? It is not possible. Jisham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana tedan namaham muktam bhajanti mang dikam. These are the qualifications. Manusyanam sahasretu pastinjati siddha. So, there are many authoritative statements. Now, janmakoti bhi sukriti. Tattva laulam mekalam mullam. Pralambhate janmakoti bhi sukriti. This desire that I shall serve Krishna, it is not ordinary thing. Now, janmakoti bhi sukriti bhi lambhate. But it is possible if we accumulate the sukriti, all right, little service. Therefore the preacher's business is to engage these fools and rascals who are very enthusiastic in the activities of sense gratification. If they are somehow or other engaged in Krishna's service, they accumulate sukriti. Another place it is said that Kritapunna Punya, Punna, Sukriti, little, and it is accumulated. Then they get the chance of talking with Krishna, playing with Krishna, dancing with Krishna. That is possible. It is not mythology. The rascals, they think it is mythology. It is not mythology. It is fact. But it is mythology or imagination for the non-devotees. For the devotees, it is practical. So, this is it. Mukta parama jati atihaya hetum. Bhaktin parama pratilabha. Apuhinati nidroga kamam achena dhira. Bhaktin parakriti dhamma. That is conclusion of when Parikshit Maharaj inquired about Krishna's Ras Leela, Sukadeva Goswami replied that if one is actually qualified to hear about Ras, Vikrita Gridanicha, Brajabadhi, Vishnu, these activities without Krishna and the Brajabadhi, if it is properly spoken and heard, then the result will be that Vijaroga Kamam Abhivruti. The material disease, calm, lust desire will be faced. Now, and bhaktin parakriti rupa, ridroga kama apunya, achirena dhira. Very strong, he'll be dhira, nama. This is it. Not that after hearing Raslila, oh, let me imitate. Let me also dance with young girls and enjoy. This is going on, rascal. Mayavadis, they do that. Perhaps no, there are so many instances. But actually, the result will be this. Vidiroga kamam achirena dhira. No more desire. Thank you very much.